Congresswoman Nancy Mace has introduced a measure to ban men from women's bathrooms on Capitol Hill. Do I still have my ban men button? Oh, I don't have it. Dear God, that's too bad. Hold on, is it this one?
I did everything right and they indicted me.
That's not it. This is all targeted at Sarah McBride. Sarah McBride is the first trans member of Congress. This is very much overt. It is all about being anti-trans and about getting attention. Now, Nancy Mace defended her proposal to ban trans women from using female bathrooms in the Capitol as being about protecting girls. We must protect girls. She also said she wants to introduce similar measures that would apply to any federal building or federal property. Here is Nancy Mace.
I find it reprehensible. I find it deeply disturbing that a biological man would demand to be in a private woman's space, whether it be a locker room, a changing room, a restroom. I don't care what it is. You don't belong there. If you were born a biological male, you can use the male restroom or a unisex space. I didn't sign up for that.
Okay. She also started posting uncontrollably to her ex account about this, post after post after post. I'll be frank, I don't know if it's that she really cares about this or she thinks it will help her get positive attention from her fellow Republicans. I don't know which it is. She also posted this video about the issue.
The radical left is calling me an extremist for being a feminist, fighting to protect the rights of women and girls. If being a feminist makes me an extremist or a bigot or a monster, I am totally here for it because I'm going to fight like hell for every woman and every little girl across this country to protect you and keep you safe.
She is fighting for every woman and every little girl to keep them safe. Very much runs counter to her policy on reproductive rights and bodily autonomy, but why let the facts get in the way of a good story? She did eventually, in the middle of putting out propaganda videos, she did end up getting interviewed, and a reporter asked, "Is all of this specifically because of Congresswoman Sarah McBride coming to Congress?" And Nancy Mace admits, yes, it really is.
Today and last night for fighting to protect women and girls, it's ridiculous. So if that being a feminist makes me an extremist, I'm totally here for it.
Is this effort in response to Congresswoman McBride's coming to Congress?
Yes, and absolutely, and then some. I'm not going to stand for a man. If someone with a penis is in the women's locker room, that's not okay. And I'm a victim of abuse myself. I'm a rape survivor. I have PTSD from the abuse I've suffered at the hands of a man. And I know how vulnerable women and girls are in private spaces. So I'm absolutely 100% going to stand in the way of any man who wants to be in a women's restroom, in our locker rooms, in our changing rooms. I will be there fighting you every step of the way.
What a hero, huh? What a real hero that Nancy Mace is making herself out to be. Truly a legend in her own mind. She then appeared last night on the Laura Ingraham show on Fox News, and she expressed that it's straight up assault. It's assault what these liberals are trying to do.
The thing I know the left will say in response to what you just said is, well, it's horrific that you were subjected to any abuse or assault, any of it. But are you intimating that this new congressman-elect would somehow assault you in the bathroom? That would be the argument.
The idea of a man walking into a locker room where I'm changing is actually, it feels like assault. I am a victim. I have PTSD from the trauma that I have endured at the hands of a man. And I'm going to stand in the way solidly of any guy that wants to come into our spaces. And guess what? Sarah McBride doesn't get a say in this. And I'm not gonna succumb or be silenced by bullies online or by the radical left. They lost big. And I'm gonna push back harder than ever before.
Of course, this is nothing more than virtue signaling. Nancy Mace wants us to believe she cares about women and she cares about girls and she cares about what happens in locker rooms and dressing rooms. And yet, E. Jean Carroll, a jury found, was sexually assaulted by Donald Trump in a dressing room. And Nancy Mace doesn't care about that. Donald Trump openly talked about going into the Miss Teen USA dressing room with underage girls, several of whom later confirmed, yeah, Donald Trump did that. And Nancy Mace supports Trump and voted for him. Nancy Mace supports all sorts of candidates with allegations against them, including Attorney General nominee Matt Gaetz, whose nomination is hopefully collapsing into a fiasco. So this is all, of course, just virtue signaling. She, to the extent that she means it, what I mean by means it is she means that she wants to get attention for these issues, but that it's actually about protecting women and girls is a whole different story altogether. With Donald Trump being elected and the insane cabinet appointments and everything else he has planned for the next 4 years, right-wing media is trying to create a new normal and convince us that the zeitgeist is changing. So it's never been more important to be an engaged and savvy news consumer. And that's where our sponsor, Ground News, comes in, an independent app and website designed to help you navigate the chaos of today's current events. For every story circulating, Ground News will give you instant access to the sources reporting on it, transparency on political bias and credibility. You can see who owns the news outlets, what are their narratives and special interests that might influence them. This will ease the mental load of sorting through what we see in the media so you can decide where is the truth. We have to stay aware of what Republicans are up to. Ground News is a really valuable tool so that you can stay on top of it. Go to ground.news/Pacman to take advantage of their biggest sale of the year. You'll get 50% off their top tier Vantage plan. The link is in the description or scan my QR code.